Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. About to be on my way to go get it. As always, I hope y'all doing the same, man. Thank God it's Friday. I hope everybody's doing well and their families are doing well. Hope everybody's health is beautiful, top tier. You know what I'm saying? What I want to get into is something that I was going to touch on the live that I was going to do last night, but I ain't going to lie to y'all, man. I was exhausted. I had to prioritize my rest at that situation. You know what I mean? You got to know when to pump the brakes sometimes because, bro, I'm a workaholic, man. All I do is work, and I don't be knowing when to chill. You know what I'm saying? So had to catch up on some Z's, and I feel great, so I guess it worked out. And I'm going to try to be on live tonight, man, if my son cooperates with me. But this is what I wanted to get into, man. So obviously we know that a couple fights have been announced from PBC finally, and that's Keith Thurman and Tszyu, along with Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz. And a lot of people have been discussing whether it's pay-per-view worthy or not, but we going to get into that, you know what I mean, in a separate video. But what I want to get into specifically is Tszyu versus Keith Thurman. And if you've been following Tszyu and who his possible opponents could be, then you would know that Terence Crawford was somebody that was considering fighting Tszyu next. According to his team, you know what I mean? I believe Coach Bernie, which is one of Terence Crawford's friends / trainers, had did an interview, I believe, with Mill City Boxing. Shout out to Mill City for the great interviews, man. He definitely been snapping with the content. And he was speaking. He seemed optimistic about the possibility of of Terence Crawford fighting Tszyu. Now, if you've been following my channel, that is a fight that I had been asking for right after he fought Earl Spence. You know what I mean? I love the idea of Terence Crawford moving up to 54 and fighting Tszyu, snatching that WBO belt, which I think he's very capable of doing, and then going on to face Jermell Charlo because prior to the Canelo fight, he had 3 of the belts available at 154, and Terence Crawford could have went for 3-time undisputed. You know what I mean? But, you know, obviously it didn't happen that way. Since then, Jermell Charlo's been extremely quiet. He had to give up his IBF title as well, so that just leaves him with 2 belts. And Tszyu has the title. You know what I mean? Tszyu has the title. And and what I really wanted to speak about was, what is Terence Crawford going to do now? You see what I'm saying? Because he had options, you know what I mean? He had the Tszyu and then he had the Jermell Charlo. But after Jermell Charlo's performance against Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford did not seem intrigued with the fight afterwards. He was disappointed in Jermell's performance, and he said that's not somebody that he was considering. And there was times where, if you check my interview out with Bomac, Bomac said that he was really only interested in Canelo Alvarez, and that if he wasn't able to get that opportunity, that he may not fight again. You see what I'm saying? But now there's more information with Coach Bernie saying that Terence Crawford would fight Tszyu. But Tszyu is occupied at the moment. So where does this leave Terence Crawford? You see what I'm saying? If Tszyu is caught up in a fight with Keith Thurman, if Jermell Charlo is extremely quiet and only has 2 belts, does Terence Crawford feel like that's worth a fight? Does Terence Crawford feel like he will get credit for beating Jermell at this very moment, who just coming off of a pretty bad performance against Canelo Alvarez? I don't know. So let's really look over the options. You see what I'm saying? And I know this may be something that Terence Crawford has shot down multiple times, but it seems like the most realistic fight at this moment if he does not retire. And obviously that fight will be against Jaron Ennis. You see what I'm saying? There was some rumors going around. I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet that Jaron Ennis might possibly pop up on that card with Keith Thurman and Tszyu and fight Mario Barrios on this card. I heard there was some conflict going on with that. I don't know if that's exactly true. But regardless, as of right now, it seems as if Jaron Ennis is available. Jaron Ennis has been calling out Terence Crawford consistently, especially since he's gotten the IBF title. He's been calling out Terence Crawford consistently, but he's been doing it for years. And Terence Crawford and his team have been adamant about not fighting Jaron Ennis because he doesn't bring anything to the table. But if you really look over Terence Crawford's options right now, it seems like he's very limited into what he could do. If this is big money fights that he's looking for, right? He said he's not interested in Jermell. That could be a joint where he could get a couple dollars and grab 2 of the world titles at 154. But like he said, he wasn't too enthused with his performance against Canelo Alvarez. And he might feel like, because Terence Crawford does get bothered when the fans don't give you credit or when fighters make excuses. He may feel like that if he beats Jermell, they're gonna say that he fought Canelo leftovers and he wasn't the same after the Canelo. So essentially, they're not gonna give him any credit, which extremely frustrates Terence Crawford. You could tell. So there's nobody else really at 54 that's an enticing fight. You know what I mean? There's nobody else at 54 that's really an enticing fight. Errol Spencer's healing from the eye injury. Are you going to sit back and wait for the eye to heal and then go into camp to give Errol Spencer a rematch? I'm not sure, because based off of Terence Crawford's tweets, he said that he's happy that he's gotten past the situation. That lets you know that he doesn't really care for the rematch. His stablemate, Steven Nelson, said that Terence Crawford didn't really care for the rematch because of the fashion in which he dominated Errol Spence Jr. You know what I mean? But then again, with Errol Spence coming out with all these excuses, he might be able to get fans to believe that that was the reason why he lost. And he may be able to get the fans to believe that the rematch may be different and that fight may sell. That may be a possibility. So the only real options that's available for Terence Crawford that he can actually make some legitimate money off of would be the Errol Spence rematch or possibly fighting Jaron Ennis for 3-time undisputed. You see what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all guys think about this nonetheless, man. It seems like Terence Crawford is limited with his options. It seems like there's only a couple fights that could possibly happen because as of right now, Tszyu is occupied with Keith Thurman. Jermell Charlo, he doesn't seem too enthused with that fight. So, and Canelo, he's looking for an opponent in May, and it don't sound like to be Terence Crawford anytime soon. So, y'all let me know what Terence Crawford should do next. Should he face Jaron Ennis? Does this set up a fight with Jaron Ennis? Or do you think he's going to go back down the Errol Spence route? Or do you think he hangs it up? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I don't think Terence Crawford is done yet, man. It seems like he's still motivated. Yeah, I mean, he's still in the gym and all that good stuff. So I don't think that's really an option, but it may be an option for you. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.